Maybe you can grab the daily checklist that Chick-fil-A uses, and maybe you take that and you go and apply it to your own business. But you never want to like get stuck where you're like, what should we do? Just look at the greatest of all time. And then once you find it, you want to bring that big, overwhelming, optimistic momentum. Once you know what to do, you got to do it quickly. Because it's new and it'll feel uncomfortable. So whenever you know what to do, a lot of times we putz around and don't do it. You got to just hop in right away. And then this, if you do it, this is what's going to create your possibilities, options, and dreams. And that's the whole reason why we have a business, is because we want to be able to pursue our possibilities, options, and dreams. That's the whole reason, you know? So most small business owners build a business where they work 70 hours a week. There's nobody in the world who could possibly do what they do. And they really created a job, not a business. What my desire for you is to really create a business. And if you want to work at it, that's great. But you shouldn't feel tied to it. So you got the values, you got the resources. Now the next one is the process. Next one is resources. Now resources is like capital. How to get money for your business to make it grow. That's people. So let me give you an example. This would be capital. Let's say people, human resources. And let's say this is just equipment. So here's an example of a guy, it's a sad story, but it's true. There's a guy in Minnesota that I know who's a contractor. He literally had no values on paper, no processes, but just through the modern miracle of passion, he was doing about $1 million a year of business. True story, $1 million a year as a contractor. So he goes out there and goes to the bank during the time of loose lending, 2005, 6, starts getting loans to build houses. True story. I went out there and saw this guy. And he's on the job site going, where are the caulk guns? Where are the caulk guns? I feel like the caulk guns were here. Where are the caulk guns? I just remember this conversation. Where are the caulk guns? And I don't know a whole lot about building, but I'm like, well, whose checklist are they on? He's like, I don't know. I mean, we don't have checklists. I don't deal with that. Okay. Then you go to the next job site. One of his employees is digging, and he digs into the gas line in Minnetonka, Minnesota. Gas goes up in the air, trees are blowing. You know, anybody lights a match, something's going to blow up. Luckily, no explosions. Then an employee of his they wanted to move something out of the way while building a retaining wall back the customer's car into a boulder. We go on and on. 2 years now, 2014. Homeboy's now gone into bankruptcy, lost it all. And here he thought, well, if I just had the capital, and I just had the manpower, and I just had the Komatsus and all that stuff, the big earth movers and all these, the Bobcats. If I just had that, if I had the new work trucks, I'd be successful. But now he had all that and it all crumbled. So we've got to get this and this here so that way you can hire. Now here's the question. The question about is how do you know if you have good processes or not? It's could you train 100 people to do this job within a month? That's going to be, you know what I mean? So when you hire someone to do a window install, could you train 100 of them? You'll know when your processes are good when the answer is yes. So companies like Quick Trip, they'll say, we'll hire 100 new people today, and they can do it. Bama companies hires 100 new people, they'll do it today. Manhattan Construction, major company, we'll train them today. So we want to get to that, okay? Now the final thing is marketing. Because here's how marketing works. I get up here and I say, how do you spell Ricola? It's like that, Ricola? Ricola. We shout from the mountaintop, Ricola. And then everyone, because we're at the top of the mountain, people hear you. And it starts to snowball and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And pretty soon you have this thing called the avalanche. And if you're not careful, you'll yell this too early and you're going to kill people here. So we don't want your business to blow up. So today I'm really pig-headed about making sure you have the values on paper. So action item 1, homework for you. Get your values on paper. Okay? 1 sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11 has to happen. Action item 2, processes. For anything that you do, start with the big stuff. Have it documented on paper like this. Here's how to do it. Need you to watch me do it. I want you to demonstrate it. Have a checklist for it. So when you train your staff, literally you'll have like a 60-point checklist on how to do this job. You don't have to learn it all one day, but you're like, Gary, this is how we bill a customer. Read this documentation. I'm going to show you how me doing it, then I want you to do it. And everything has to be done that way, okay? Cloning, all right?